I am John Yates. I live here in Bradenton, Florida, next to Cortez, Florida, where I used to fish out of. I've been fishing my whole life. I grew up in Ohio. We always had a bait store, been fishing with my dad since I've been probably about 2 or 3. We fished the Great Lakes.
We ended up here on the island just for one night. That was 18 years ago. And we're thinking, why do we want to leave? Everybody wants to be here. So we stayed.
And so I jumped on a grouper boat at the deckhand, and a short while later, a guy threw me the keys, and I started running the boat.
In 2007, Mr. Yates was out on a routine excavation searching for red grouper. Around that time, there was a federally deputized Florida Fish and Wildlife officer that had noticed the boat. They stopped the boat, boarded it to conduct a routine inspection. Of the fish, there were 72 that the officer noted that were below the federal size limit.
What he told Mr. Yates was, you need to go back to the dock when you're finished today, and we're going to remeasure these grouper. And so Mr. Yates complied, went back to the dock, and when the grouper remeasured, they were a few centimeters different than the original size.
Rather than 72 of the fish being measured as undersized in that catch that was set aside, there's only 69 now that are being measured undersized.
And so what this state officer did was essentially cite him for a violation.
Basically, we're missing 3 fish. But yeah, the ticket was it. We thought once you get your ticket, you right to pay your fine. We thought it was over.
This all of a sudden became a federal crime. The Middle District of Florida prosecuted him under a statute that was designed for the business world, Sarbanes-Oxley, which is the law that was passed after the Enron scandal to go after those individuals who are under a federal investigation who might be shredding records and deleting computer files. A commercial fisherman was held to have essentially obstructed a federal investigation through the destruction of a tangible object now defined as a fish.
You took a fisherman at work, his fish thawed out. You charged him with 3 felonies that carried 30 years. Because 72 fish offshore, 69 fish is what they found on shore.
So at that time, they handcuffed me, took me to the Coast Guard station, informed me that I was going to jail over the NOAA incident from 2007. We drove me, put me in jail, and that was it.
We saw this case as a stock example of overcriminalization. We realized that this was an opportunity to work with Mr. Yates, to work with his lawyers at the Federal Defender's Office, and stop talking about overcriminalization as an academic concept that happens already when people go to jail, but actually do something now to make sure that he never had to have his livelihood threatened by getting this case reversed at the starting point. Our petition for Supreme Court review was an example of combining our legal analysis with our investigative work that really showed that this overcriminalization problem at its core stems from corruption, from abuse inside of federal agencies that directly affected this individual's livelihood.
Going to the Supreme Court was something I'll probably never forget. It was eye-opening, and it was validation, I think, more than anything. Yes, this is what we've been saying since day one.
That was a split decision. It was a hair away from essentially threatening not just John Yates, but any individual who gets into the crosshairs of the government.
Once cause of action got involved and all the amicus teams, it was, somebody cared. Somebody gave a shoot. I mean, I was just so blessed that they did get involved. Nothing else has changed around here. I still work 2 jobs. He still has known as the fish shredder, the fish thrower. He never threw any fish.
They had blackballed me from fishing for the last 6 years. I tried to open up some little furniture store, which I invested a little bit of money in, but I ain't made no money there to make a living on. All I'm doing is breaking even and working for free, basically. You know, I'm probably well over $1 million in lost income in the last 6 years. Since then, I haven't even tried to go back to fishing.
They really just wanted to live their lives, and the government came knocking, and they did what they thought was appropriate. You know, John Yates did what he thought was right, and ultimately, because the government went after them, his livelihood was threatened. And this is an individual and a family that cares deeply about this country, that are deeply patriotic. Good, innocent Americans are the ones who get targeted.
If it helps the betterment of all and we had to take a little butt kicking for a little while, okay. And you take it and you move on. But if you have the ability to stand up and fight for something that needs to be fought for, you better do it.